Hi everyone, this is Dr. S.M. Baggio. Today I'll be discussing one of the Aristotle's most influential concepts in dramatic theory, catharsis. This idea comes from his famous work Poetics, where he analyzed the nature and purpose of tragedy. Catharsis, simply put, is emotional release an audience experience when watching a tragedy. And even though Aristotle lived more than 2000 years ago, this concept still explains why stories move us so deeply today in theater, literature, and even film. The word catharsis comes from the Greek word katharsis, which means purification or cleansing. Aristotle believed what when audience experience strong emotions such as fear, pity, though art, they undergo a kind of purification. Instead of suppressing or ignoring emotions, tragedy allows us face them and in sense release them. According to Aristotle, tragedy is the highest form of dramatic art because it is a perfect medium for catharsis. In a safe and controlled environment, audiences can confront fear, pity, grief, and other overwhelming feelings. For example, when watching Oedipus Rex, we feel pity for Oedipus' downfall and fear for his fate. By the end, we leave the theater not weighed down by sadness, but with a sense of emotional renewal. In Poetics, Aristotle outlined the six essential elements of tragedy: plot, character, thought, diction, melody, and spectacle. Among these, he argued that plot is the most important because it is the structure of event that elicates emotion. Without a strong and logical plot, catharsis cannot occur. It is the unfolding of the story, the race, the climax, and the resolution that stirs our emotion and prepares us for release. The process of catharsis. Catharsis does not happen automatically, it follows a process: emotional engagement, identification with characters, resolution, and reflection. Emotional engagement. First, the audience must be drawn into the story. Identification in characters. We must see ourselves in the struggles of the character. This identification deepens our emotional response. Resolution and reflection. Finally, when the tragedy resolves, we reflect on what we have felt, and in that reaction, we find relief and understanding. This process is why tragic stories remain powerful across time. They do not just entertain, they help us process our own emotions. Catharsis is not only an art concept but also a psychological one. Therapeutic effect, cultural significance, modern interpretations. Therapeutic effects by releasing emotions, audience can heal, grow, and understand themselves better. This way, why theater, literature, and even cinema can feel deep therapeutic. Cultural significance. Catharsis has shaped storytelling traditional worldwide. Whether in Greek tragedy, Shakespearean drama, or modern films, stories continues to serve as mirror of society, allowing people to confront emotional collectively. Modern interpretations. Today, catharsis are also studied in psychology, where it relates to emotional release as a way of coping with stress and trauma. Critics and alternative views. Of course, Aristotle ideas has not gone unchallenged. Some critics argue that catharsis is not always effective. For some individuals, watching tragic stories might increase anxiety or sadness instead of relieving it. Other just catharsis varies across culture. What brings release in one culture might have been the same effect in another. These critics remind us that while catharsis is powerful, it is not universal. To conclude, Aristotle's concept of catharsis remains a cornerstone in our understanding of art and storytelling. tragedy by ending us emotional and following us to release, whether fear and pity. Thus, more than entertain, it transformed us even today. From theater to cinema, we continue to seek stories that challenge us more and ultimately cleanse us. Catharsis reminds us that art is not just a mirror of society, it is also a path to personal reflection and emotional growth. Thank you.